second half, Kevin, after the slow start?
I just thought they took it to us, honestly, to start the game. And so I thought we were on our heels a little bit, but ultimately, we were not being smart. I thought these guys we were getting to the paint at will. I thought Rob's decision making in the second half was much better, along with AJ's. I thought there was a couple plays right out of the gate. It was the exact carryover of the clips that we showed at halftime in terms of getting to the paint. We wanted to play fast, but I thought they sped us up. And so I thought our decision making, and then obviously, we changed our defensive coverages. I think that really kind of put them in mud a little bit, and that's how we were able to get that spread and then just kind of withstand the run at the end.
Yeah, you guys had that excellent run, but then in the second half, and then to withstand the run, what did you think your guys did to kind of make sure that hold off Dayton?
Yeah, at that point it was just will. I thought Rob's decision making. Richie's will to win is second to zero people in the country. This guy is just an absolute, just finds a way type of guy. I love that about him. I thought AJ's poise down the stretch, got some big buckets in the post, found Richie on the one skip pass, something we actually walked through in the ballroom this morning, so it was good carryover. But I just thought it was his decision making, his will to win, and AJ's poise.
It's been a couple of games this year where you guys have kind of exploded in the second half. Is it fair to call you guys a second half team? Why we're not?
It's true. We hung up 53 points on that team, and that's a really hard team to play against. I told Coach Grant that after the game. They mix up their defenses, they're aggressive, and so hard team to play against. But I did think our guys adjusted. I just told them in the locker room, we got to find some of that juju before halftime, and it's a good lesson for our guys.
Last time a team won this event, they won the national championship. That was Florida last year. Do you think this was a good preparation for the conference season and what lies ahead for this group?
I think the theme for us early on has just been, how many hard games and tough opponents we've played against. That's clearly going to be a tournament team, right? And so to be able to play against these types of teams early in the season, I just told our group that's stuff that we can rely on as the season wears on, and we have a lot of reference points that we can kind of hit on as we're in more, tough games, both in conference and in the postseason.
He's up next. You. Good.
Coach, you have a 26-4 run out of halftime. So as you talk about turning the game over into the second half, what were some things that allowed you to fast break and of course find Richie, and then your playmaking is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. No, Rob was tremendous tonight in the second half, I thought. But I thought, we ended up kind of switching some of our matchups that allowed us to then switch some of their pick and roll action, which I thought kind of neutralized them. It was a little bit of a chess match there for a minute with what they were doing with what we were doing. I thought that allowed us to build a little bit of a cushion coupled with our ability to make the right plays in the paint.
Coach, this was usually considered a neutral site. You talk about the crowd, the fan base, and being able to feed off that energy and how that helped you tonight.
It never gets old, man. And everywhere we go, how many miles away are we from Provo? You know what I mean? You got that many BYU fans there. One, I know I had a lot of friends in from Provo, but also tons of people from the East Coast out here, down south. And I grew up in Georgia, so I know there's how many BYU fans there are down in this neck of the woods. So this guy's used to it. Rob's finding out what it's like, and it's a beautiful thing.
Jackson.
Kevin, I know obviously tonight the starters were great, but there were no bench points. With Dawson's injury, are you worried at all about the depth going forward, or was that just kind of a one-off thing tonight?
I'm hopeful it's a one-off thing. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about it. Dawson's been great for us, but guys will step up. I think between on the perimeter, I have a lot of confidence in Tyler, Dom, and even Alex. We threw him out there. These guys will tell you, he doesn't miss a shot in practice, and so I have a lot of confidence in him. We're going to have to kind of drip feed him in there. Just you could kind of see it. But even his one drive, I even told these guys he comes in, first drive, plays off two, makes a nice little pass. So he'll grow his confidence. But I'd be lying if I didn't say we missed Dawson tonight, and we will miss him moving forward for however long he's out.
Go ahead, sir.
Coach, how was hospitality here at Disney and overall for the whole group?
It was amazing, man. It was a great event. I've traveled all over the world playing games and at venues and being hosted, and this is extremely first class, great hotel. I know all the families had a good time at Disney. And, you know, my kids had a blast, and a lot of our family that came along did as well. So first-class event, and glad we got to play in it.
Mitch?
For Richie, you ever had that big of a trophy? You got the MVP recognition, that's the biggest you ever received in your career?
Yeah, I tried to put it over my head, but it was
Come on, man.
than I
You
thought,
get your weight
man.
up, huh?
Need to get in the weight room and do some presses.
And just going back to Kevin real quick, what do you, with both of these guys, Rob's ability to finish and then the will to win from Richie, what is it about these guys that makes them special in that regard?
Well, starting with Rob, I mean, Rob's really unique because Rob he's one of the few guys in the country that can pretty much get wherever he wants at will. And so him and I have had a lot of discussions on sometimes that's a curse for him because he can get in there so well, and now it's all about the decision making after the fact. Sometimes it's get to the rim. I got extremely hyped when he played off two. Here comes Richie, he kicks it out. So his decision making is going to be paramount, not only for our success, but for his success as he moves throughout his career. And then, you know, I think Richie's doing a better job of spacing the floor, finding windows to get some of these kickouts, you know, letting the game come to him. I thought early in the season he was rushing shots. I think he's in a little bit calmer place. And, you know, the scoring is going to speak loudly for him. But, I mean, you know, this guy's battling bigger guys almost every night he led us in defensive rebounds. You know, I think that speaks to his will that I talked about.
All right, we have probably one more for Coach Young, and let's ask the student athletes some questions, please.
I have a question for Richie.
Okay, go ahead, Jack.
You were telling us earlier this week about playing Dayton 3 years ago and how fun of a memory that was for you in the Bahamas. And where does tonight and this experience rank compared to that? Obviously, that was a great comeback win tonight. Another comeback win, winning MVP. How do those two compare for you?
Yeah, I mean, that feels like a lifetime ago, honestly. But, I mean, just really, really happy. Really happy we came out of the dub, honestly. That's at the end of it, that's where my mind is, my heart is. And that'd be one we remember.
For both student athletes, what has the process been learning where each other's going to be on the floor? Coach talked about getting in, playing off two, finding your teammates, or finishing. How have you guys gotten so used to each other where you know where each other are going to be?
I think for me it's just playing tough games early and just having to trust each other and just working on it every day in practice and just keep going at it. I mean, today was a great game in the second half where I trusted my teammates and got Richie some shots, so I think it's growing for sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're just add on top of that is you have to go through hard stuff. Like Coach kind of touched on it, but after the game. But honestly, like we're still new as a group, and we're learning so much about each other. And again, the only way you can learn about each other is by going through stuff together and having experience.
All right, we'll go here, and then Mitch will have the last question. Go ahead, sir.
This question is for Rob. Rob, you know, you're fairly new to this team, and it's 7 games in. And as the point guard, you know, you're asked to quarterback the team, but it seemed like you're gelling pretty well, pretty quickly. Like, just talk about your comfort and your confidence, being able to know when to score and when to play make in a balanced mode.
I think it's just every day these guys trusting in me. Coach, we have talks all the time, and him just telling me to just let the game come to me and just try to find guys. And I'm going to have opportunities all the time because I'm in the paint whenever I want, like he said. So I feel like it's just making the right decision every time. That's what it's going to come down to.
For both Rob and Richie, you guys scored 12 collective points there in about 4 minutes, took a 9-point lead. For the both of you, did anything kind of push you forward to work on that part of the game with each other there?
I think it was just the chemistry. It kind of was just clicking.
Yeah.
All right, Mitch, last question.
Rob, saw I think a lot of your family here in the stands. I'm curious, just you being someone new to this BYU program, how much have you and your family invested into the BYU and just this experience so far?
I mean, I have family that comes out every game. I mean, it's on the East Coast, so it was probably like a 2-hour flight for them, so it was nothing. So I'm happy that they got to be here and come to see me play.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.